Imagine this: a bustling subway, passengers lost in their daily routines, when suddenly chaos erupts. An elderly woman clutches her purse tightly as a thief snatches it from her grasp and bolts through the crowded train. Fear and shock ripple through the passengers. But just when all hope seems lost, someone unexpected steps in. Among the stunned onlookers, one man rises, a face you'd instantly recognize. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger, the action star turned real-life hero. What he does next leaves everyone in disbelief. Was it a scene out of a movie or something even more extraordinary? Stay tuned, because this story will remind you that sometimes real life is more thrilling than fiction. What happened next will not only surprise you but inspire you. You don't want to miss how this unfolds. The subway car seemed frozen in time. Passengers exchanged worried glances, unsure of what to do. The elderly woman, visibly shaken, tried to call out, but her voice was drowned by the clattering of the train and the thief's quick escape. Everyone felt helpless. Who would dare confront a criminal in such a confined and unpredictable space? That's when Arnold stood up. Wearing a simple jacket and cap, he blended in with the crowd, but his commanding presence was impossible to miss. Passengers whispered among themselves, some recognizing the man who once played fearless heroes on the big screen. But this was no Hollywood set. It was real, and no one knew what he would do. Arnold locked eyes with the thief, who was now weaving through the crowded car. Without hesitation, he moved forward, his calm demeanor masking a determination that sent ripples of anticipation through the crowd. The thief darted toward the subway doors, hoping to vanish into the crowded station once they opened. His movements were quick, calculated, but Arnold wasn't far behind. As he moved through the passengers, some instinctively stepped aside, sensing that something big was about to happen. The elderly woman clung to a stranger's arm, her eyes filled with desperation as she watched the scene unfold. For her, it wasn't just about losing her purse. It held memories, photos, and items that couldn't be replaced. Meanwhile, the other passengers seemed torn. Should they help or stay out of it? A young man with headphones glanced nervously at the thief, while a mother pulled her child closer, shielding them from the unfolding drama. Arnold, however, didn't waver. Every step he took was deliberate, his focus locked on the thief. The tension in the air was electric. Would he reach him in time, or would the criminal slip away? The subway screeched to a halt, the doors hissing open. The thief made his move, slipping through the crowd and leaping onto the platform. For a moment, it seemed like he might get away. Passengers gasped, some frozen in fear, others watching in awe as Arnold stepped off the train, his pace quickening. His eyes never left the thief, who was now weaving through commuters, desperate to disappear into the chaos of the station. Arnold's calm composure was replaced with urgency. The crowd began to notice what was happening, their heads turning as whispers spread. Is that Arnold Schwarzenegger? Some people moved aside, creating a clearer path. The thief glanced over his shoulder and realized who was pursuing him. Panic flashed across his face as he clutched the stolen purse tighter. The tension was unbearable. Arnold's long strides closed the gap. Everyone held their breath. What would he do next? Just as Arnold was closing in, something unexpected happened. A bystander, a young woman carrying a backpack, stepped in, trying to block the thief's path. Her attempt to trip him up was brave, but it backfired. The thief stumbled, knocking over a group of travelers before regaining his footing. Chaos erupted on the platform as people scrambled to avoid the commotion. Arnold, now only a few feet away, pushed through the growing crowd with unwavering determination. The thief, realizing he was running out of time and space, did something no one expected. He darted toward the edge of the platform, teetering dangerously close to the tracks. Gasps echoed as everyone froze, unsure of what he might do next. The stakes couldn't be higher. Arnold slowed down, his hand outstretched as if trying to reason with the man. But the thief's wild eyes showed desperation. Time was running out, and the tension was unbearable. The thief hesitated for a split second, glancing at the tracks below and the approaching train in the distance. The crowd collectively held their breath, fearing the worst. Arnold, now just an arm's length away, made his move. With precision and strength that seemed almost cinematic, he grabbed the thief's shoulder and yanked him back onto the platform. The man struggled, but Arnold's grip was unrelenting. As the stolen purse slipped from the thief's hand and fell to the ground, the young woman who had tried to help earlier quickly retrieved it and brought it back to the elderly woman. Tears of relief streamed down her face as she clutched her belongings close. The crowd erupted into applause, but the story wasn't over. Just as station security arrived to take the thief into custody, the elderly woman approached Arnold, her voice shaky but firm. "Thank you," she said, looking him in the eye. Arnold smiled, but then gestured toward the young woman who had intervened earlier. "Thank her too," he said. "Heroes come in all shapes and sizes." The crowd murmured in agreement, and as the train pulled away, the passengers who had witnessed the event carried with them a story they'd never forget. A story about courage, kindness, and the unexpected ways people step up in moments of need. As the train pulled away, the platform gradually returned to normal, but the energy in the air was anything but ordinary. The elderly woman, now smiling through her tears, clutched her purse tightly, her gratitude evident. Passengers lingered, some taking photos of Arnold, others simply soaking in the moment. The young woman who had stepped in shyly avoided the attention, but Arnold made sure to acknowledge her courage, giving her a nod that spoke volumes. The thief, now in custody, offered no resistance as security escorted him away. The crowd began to disperse, yet people couldn't stop talking about what they had just witnessed. It wasn't just about the purse being returned. It was about strangers uniting in a moment of crisis, inspired by someone who would have easily stayed silent but chose to act. As Arnold quietly left the station, one thing was clear: real heroes aren't made on movie screens, they're made in moments like these.